Hello guys, in this second video we will see how to actually run FLpScanner now that we have set up the environment for it. Remember that now we can type FLpScanner and get the error message right away. If that's not the case, please refer to the first video of this series. Let's clear the screen. The first thing we have to do is to navigate where we have unzipped our FLpScanner. To do that, if you're on Mac, you just copy the path and paste it, type cd for change directory and press enter. You'll be fine. If you're on Windows, there's an extra quirk. Remember what I said in the first video, that this path is not compatible with this environment. We have to convert it. Fortunately, we have a utility for this, which is WSL path. So now we can type WSL path, double quotes, and press enter. Then we type cd, space, select this, and right-click. And if we press enter, now the prompt has changed. You can verify your location by typing the command pwd. This will tell you where you are currently located. This should correspond to what you have unzipped your script in. So now, feel free to put the projects that you want to scan within projects to read. Right now I have a few tester projects myself. Let's say for the sake of the argument that we want to look into project dumdumdum_2 for now. How do we do this? We type FLpScanner -p, which means project scan, and then projects to read, and dumdumdum2, or the name of your project. Press enter, and you may see this sort of error. So if you see that, you may think that you've done something wrong. As it turns out, though, this is perfectly normal. Read what you have in front of you. Syntax problem found in config file. Empty drive definition, no valid drives provided, no drives provided. So, let's open the config file. And indeed, we see that we have a line called drive that has nothing behind it. Well, we'll have to remedy this. For now, you'll have to put whatever drive is best suited for you. This is going to be the drive that we're looking for missing samples in. So take your time to find what's best for you. Myself, I'll put those two. Save it. And once this is saved, you can close the config file. Let's clear the screen. And let's try again FLP-P, projects to read, and then the name of your project. See what happens. Now it's a different behavior. We have no errors. We can see that the script went through and scanned this file and found 61. 61 what? Samples. So now in the scan output, we have a new file that we can look into. This is a CSV file. CSV is comma separated values. It's a type of file that is separated by a delimiter. Here the delimiter is the @ sign. Feel free to open that in Excel or LibreOffice, which is a free software, if you want to view it. As you do, you'll see such a thing. I'll detail the meaning of every single column later. For now, see though that dumdumdum2.flp is present on pretty much every line, and every resource it has inside is listed. This 808 kick and where it's supposed to be found from is listed. So is this 909 kick, so is this percussion. Everything that I found in there is listed. Cool. What else can we do? Well, what we can do is scan the entirety of the projects in projects to read. This would make sense rather than scanning everything by hand. Let's delete this first file and let's scan the entirety of the projects to read directory. How do we do this? We type flpScanner -D and enter. And right now, the entirety of the files that are the project files that are found in the projects to read directory are being scanned. Of course, depending on the number you have, this may take more or less time, but we now have a different output. Let's open it and see. Now it looks very much like what we had before, except now we have far more projects. We have this one, the Dum2 from before, a new one that was a zip project, another FLP project, another FLP project. Okay, fine. That seems like a lot of data, but what is this data exactly? Well, let's see that. Up there you have some information about what was found in your config file. This is not so important for you. What is important for you is what's under. First, we see the per project data. Path of the project, name of the project, type, resource, in the zip, found in drives, confidence, location, and collected. What are all this? For every project that you have scanned, the nature of the project will be specified, and a file resource that was found inside will be listed. So those are all the samples that your projects use. This is great resources for you to find missing sounds if you cannot easily locate them. InZip is populated when the project is a zip file and the resource that it needs is found within the zip archive. In case that we need to search for the resource later, the resource, the column found in drive is at first populated with not searched, indicating that we have not indeed looked yet in the drives. Confidence is normally not evaluated except for zip files. If it found the resources inside, it is 100% confident that this is the right resource. Location of the missing sample is not yet found, and collected is not yet found either. Those will be populated later. But now that we did a scan of the whole directory, we also have a new entry at the bottom, which is this directory data. What this is a consolidated list of all the resources that were found in all the projects, but with only one entry per resource. Why this? Well, let's imagine that you miss a kick drum, but as it turns out, this kick drum has been used in 5 of your songs. Well, it's a little stupid to list the kick drum 5 times, because you just need one of those. You just need to locate the original. So this is what this list is about, removing redundancy. So it's always going to be shorter than the previous list. So you can already see why this may be useful for you if you're not finding your samples, but there's more. There's much more. The next mode of operation of the script is search mode. To trigger it, we have to type flpScanner -S for search, and then we have to provide the scan output file that it self-generated. So we have to go scan output and select the file. Press enter, and now what the script will do for you is look for all the missing samples that it found and try to locate them in the list of drives that you provided in the config file. Of course, this may take more or less time, depending on how much you have to scan. I'm not accelerating the video for the sake of you seeing in real time how much it takes, but this is already almost done. There we are. So now we can look at the scan output file and see that this location is much larger. So what happened? Well, what happened is that now some, not necessarily all, of the missing samples have been located. You see this one, as an 808 kick in its name, seems like a possible candidate for this one. But it's not an exact match. So it's telling me there's a 10% confidence level. So meaning I found that, but I'm not really confident this is what you were looking for. You see that it is said yes in found, while others are set to no. but the confidence is low. Fortunately, it's not always going to be low confidence. We have this one here, 22%. Same name though. Hit 3 and hit 3. This one may be worth looking into manually. But here we have higher confidence ones. We have 60%, 100%, 88%. Now that's promising. Now, as of now, they have been reported as to where I found them, or where the script found them. This is the original resource it is looking for. This is where it found the best candidate for it. This, of course, you may say, seems like it's fine, but it's not very successful, is it? Well, it's a bit more complex than this, I'm afraid. You see, the whole interest is that you can set the search places by hand with the drive's configuration. You can set as many as you want. If you want to scan your entire F drive, you can say F like that, right? It doesn't matter. The thing is, it will find the samples if they are on the locations that you have provided. If they're not there, it will not invent them. So you have to be careful when you provide the locations yourself. Maybe you have a vague idea, you know this is on this drive, this external drive that you have, but you don't remember where exactly. Well, that's how you find it. So don't take this performance right now for a bad evaluation of what the script can do. As a matter of fact, this is already quite impressive that even though I'm not providing actual thought of drives, this is finding stuff for me. Now, you would say, okay, this is reported, but what's the point of reporting them? Do I have to go and collect them all manually? Not necessarily. There's another configuration that we can do. So let's delete this file, and let me explain some extra stuff to you. In the config.txt, we have a bunch of possibilities. First, there's the encoding. Now, this one is a bit technical. I won't go and talk about it right now. But then there's those two, search and threshold. I've already talked about the fact that drive is the places that you can look into, and you can set as many of those as you want. You don't have any limits there. But search, what is search? Search is the behavior to adopt by the script upon finding the missing sample. Right now it is set to report, so it is indeed just reporting it to me. I can also set it to collect, in which case the sample would be collected into collected samples here. And what is then this threshold here? Well, this is a threshold of confidence. You may not want to collect the lower confidence samples. You may want to collect those that have more than 50 of confidence, or maybe more than 75, who knows? Now right there you set your personal threshold of confidence that you want for collection to happen. The default, I think, is 30, but it doesn't have to be. Of course, this is a percentage from 0 to 100. It has to be an integer number. Don't go start putting this sort of thing. This will tell you that this makes no sense and crash on you. All right. So here we can set either collect, either reports. Let's see now with collect what happens. Okay, I save that and quit. Now let's check. Collected samples, there's nothing. Scan output, I've deleted the file. So let's regenerate it. Let's clear the screen. We go FLpScanner, scan the whole directory. Let's go. As you can see, this is rather fast. Now, you have to remember this is not compiled language, so this is always going to be slower than an executable. However, this is much safer because you can actually read what it is doing. And so you know that my script is not trying to hurt your files or do anything crazy. Now, let's actually search for the samples. So right now, this is scanning the 2 drives that I have provided. You may say, this is a bit slow, isn't it? Well, it all depends on the size of the drives that you provide. I haven't told you about how massive the 2 drives that I'm looking at right now are. Once I tell you, you'll be probably a bit more impressed by what it does. So we'll see that. once this is done. Okay, this is done. We'll see the output, but first, let's have a look at the size of the drives that I'm scanning. There's this one, the EGOSL 0 something. So let's evaluate the size of that. EGOSL 0. What is the size of this drive? See, it's taking already some time to evaluate the size of it. This tells you this. Okay, 26 gigabytes. That's a lot of files. That's a lot of samples. How about this one? Again, all of this is in real time. I don't want to cheat you by making it look faster than it is. And this seems to be taking some time here. How big is that? I wonder. Don't even know myself, honestly. Just my standard sound libraries right there. "74 gigabytes. So combined together, those two, we have 74 plus 26. That's 100 gigabytes that was scanned by the script when it went through like that. I don't know if you realize the number of samples that it scanned through. It's not too bad. So let's have a look at the scan output. What do we have now? Well, we have the same exact thing as before. Obviously, it found the same exact sample at the same exact places. But now, we have a new entry. See here, the confidence was too low, 22. We said the threshold to be 30. So it says, no, I didn't collect that. Confidence is too low. But those with high confidence, they were collected. And they appear under that name in the collected sample library. Remember, we checked that there was nothing. Let's see now. There is something.
Oh, that you move with me, baby, groove with me, baby.
Okay. If we were missing that sound, we're not missing it anymore. This is fantastic news. Now, if I had to scan or search that by hand, it could have taken quite a significant amount of time. But with that, now I'm confident that I can recover a portion of my missing files automatically and safely, because those are copies of the original. So if I delete them, it doesn't matter, because they are copies of the original, not the original. You may wonder what happens if I have two samples that have the same name. Well, if I have two of those, what will actually happen is that they will be compared on a binary level. If they happen to be the same, they'll be reported simply as being the same, so there's no copy that will be made. But if they're different but have the same name, one will be renamed by the date of the day and the time of the day, just to make sure that they are not the same. And therefore you'll have two, and the right one will be reported here for you, right? So I believe you start to see how useful that script can be if you're missing any FL Studio sample files, right? This is obviously done to work with FL Studio. This is not going to work with Ableton projects or other DAWs. They work fundamentally differently. Another point, let's add an extra bunch of details. If you want to know a little more about the script, please type flpScanner -H. This will open the help file for you. You'll be able to read what the script is doing and details as to, like, for instance, the config, the encoding thing, search behavior, and so on and so forth. Okay? Press Q when you're done. Lastly, if you intend on modifying the script, you may want to look into this markdown file. Open now with gvim. Sure, why not? Is there a zoom in there? Let's actually open it here instead. That explains to you the philosophy behind how I made the different functions, how things work internally if you want to edit the script. Because the good news is this is completely editable by you. If you wish to edit the script itself or have a look at the functions, well, you can. You can have a look and determine if you think there's anything that you should be adding in terms of feature or change. And the last good news is that it comes completely for free. This is free for anyone to use, and this is available in the link in the description. So this is a link toward the FL Studio forum where this is going to be hosted. I'm putting it here for the fact that FL Studio, or the makers of FL Studio ImageLine, can therefore have a veto on it if they think they should put down the post. At least this is on their platform. As I said, this is completely free, but also in the link of the in the description, there's a link to a Ko-fi tipping platform. If you find that useful, once you've tried it and it helped you recover missing files of yours, consider tipping me. I spent some time doing that. I would appreciate the tip. And with that being said, I hope you have fun making good music and recovering your missing samples. Cheers!